Hey guys, Scott here with a new beer dissection video. Got something new from a brewery that I never had a beer from before. Um, from Kings County Brewers Collective, Kings County, also known as Brooklyn, New York. It's called their Superhero Sidekicks Hazy IPA. And it's a very noisy, elaborate label on here. I'll try to have at least one view over my shoulder, but it looks like an octopus guy with a helmet on. I may actually spin one of them and have it over the shoulder view for those of you that like this type of stuff. This one looks like a blue guy, so I guess they're trying to spin off on Marvel Comics with the theme of this beer. But it's their Hazy IPA. I think it's coming in. I think I looked it up at 6.9 or 6.8%. It was canned on November 20th, and I'm filming this on Christmas Eve about a month ago. So this is 4 weeks, so it's pretty fresh. So really can't go wrong with that. And that's it. Again, I haven't had any beers from this company at all. Obviously, I get a lot of hazy IPAs, juicy IPAs. I did look. I think they're using Idaho 7, Cascade. There's a couple. I think it was either Centennial. You can look them up, though, if you want to get the specific grist of the, or I should say the charges of the hops. They are using oats and unmalted wheat in this because, again, remember, a lot of these hazies, if you watch more than one of my videos, I go on about how, besides the copious amounts of hops and hop matter and polyphenols from the hops creating the haziness, it also, they use unmalted wheat with the proteins and oats to create some of the cloudiness and haziness with that. And it's at the discretion of the brewer. So again, it's from, let me just say it again, Kings County Brewers Collective, Brooklyn, New York, called Superhero Sidekicks. So for those of you who are really interested in learning more about the actual grist, it was right off their website. They're not very shy on telling. It's Citra too. Citra, Cascade, Idaho 7, I think maybe even Mosaic, but again, sometimes I have notes for these beers, sometimes I don't. I don't like sometimes to research it too much because I like to go into it blindly. Because if I know too much about the hops or the grist, I have a kind of a preconceived notion what the beer's going to be, and that kind of, I think, waters down or dilutes my review here a little bit. All right, so that's it. So again, let me just show the can real quick. Maybe I'll do a spinning one for this. On some of my videos in the past, I've kind of done a flyby with this. Maybe I'll film it after I'm done with this part of it. All right, guys, so let's crack this bad boy open and take a look at it. I just got my regular Tiku glass off camera. All right, and let's take a look at it. Okay. So I'm expecting this to be kind of a straw colored, but I'll stop there because I don't want to throw it off. And it's actually looking a little different than what I was expecting. So let's take a look at it. About an inch, 2 inches of white to off-white head. We're getting nice frothing. I always kind of compare it to, Cool Whip or doing, fresh, whipped cream or like the crema or the top of an espresso. And that we're getting that here. Nice, well-supported, pretty tight bubbles. Looks like it would sustain itself pretty well if I was not going to be swirling it around too much. Actually a very deep, medium to deep gold color. It is hazy. There is some opaqueness to it. And that's what we get with a lot of the proteins in there. But again, very pretty looking beer, but a little darker than I expect. A lot of times these hazy juicies are, a pale straw color, almost looks like bread crust, pizza crust. But this one is a little bit darker, but it's not, sometimes I get worried. If I didn't know this beer was only a month fresh, sometimes I get worried about degradation of the hops. It kind of makes it a little bit darker and looks like dirty water or dishwater. This one is only, like I said, about a month out from canning. So it is fresh. I wouldn't expect that. Maybe they're using some crystal malt, but a tiny bit of it. So anyway, let's take a sniff of the aroma. So I get white grape. There's some citrus character there, like orange, tropical fruit, like pineapple, maybe even a little mango. It's almost like, and if someone wanted to say the orange was more like, on the citrus is more like apricot, I wouldn't disagree with them, but very pleasant regardless. Okay, the malt is kind of a light toast, but again, you get the idea. It's kind of citrus with orange or apricot, pineapple. If you want to even say a little peach, it's kind of like a medley. I use medley a few times of those aromatics. So anyway, guys, cheers, Prost. Oh, nice. Makes it easy. You get that citrus orange character, whether you go more orange, mandarin, apricot, tropical fruits there, pineapple. I wouldn't even argue about a little peach in there too. It's kind of a fruit bomb. What I'm not getting though, which is good because I've been having that a lot recently, are these grapefruit bombs. There's really no grapefruit. The citrus is really more orange to mango, to maybe even slightly peach, to it. But overall, very nice. The malt on there, I'm letting it sit in here because on the aftertaste, I'm kind of left with a little bit of that apricot orange, pineapple type of tropical fruit on the aftertaste. There's no alcoholic warmth, which I wouldn't expect at this level. And the only thing I would say, I was expecting to be a little bit more fuller bodied, like medium full bodied. It's drinking a little thinner, kind of like low to medium bodied, which is not a knock to the beer. It's just kind of the way it is. So there's probably not a lot of other things in suspension that's kind of creating the mouthfeel. I thought with the oats and the malted wheat, sometimes that besides the haziness, it also adds to some of the body of the beer. And I don't get that here. So again, that was the body, alcoholic warmth, but very nice. The carbonation level is kind of medium. But it drinks a lot lighter even than 6, 8 or whatever I said about it. I'm almost drinking like it's 4. As I sit here, I'm kind of getting that apricot peach orange character to it. Once again on the aftertaste. Really nice beer, guys. Again, the first beer I've ever had from this brewery, even though I'm roughly 50 miles from there. I did some reviews on some beers from the Bronx Brewery. So I'm going one borough over to Brooklyn. Very good. So anyway, guys, for a hazy, juicy IPA, if you're looking for one that's a little bit more biased towards orange, apricot, maybe a little tropical fruit, this beer would be for you. If you're looking more for that grapefruit bomb, this wouldn't be it. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised with it because sometimes these breweries are doing too much with the citrus bias towards grapefruit versus other fruits and citrus fruits also. Grade wise on this, I got to give it I'll give it an A-. Overall drinkability, enjoyability, A-. To other hazy, juicy IPAs, I'm going to keep it at A-, which is a good grade. Again, I always hate using minus because sometimes it's a negative connotation, but A- is very good in my book. Again, the only knock to it is I was expecting to be a little more chewy, maybe a little more mouthfeel, a little fuller bodied with a lot of other IPAs, and especially juicy, hazy IPAs. But that's a small note. I'd rather be tasting good and have a little thinner body than vice versa. Okay? So anyway, guys, today's beer dissection is from Kings County Brewers. I want to make sure I get the name right. Kings County Brewers Collective from Brooklyn, New York, which is the original. It is Kings County. And fancy can here. I'm going to try to do a little flyby if I haven't shown it on the edited version yet. Here it is here. So it's, I guess, their little take on sidekicks. I don't know why. They always have these kitschy labels these days. I don't know what the background is on this superhero sidekicks hazy IPA, from Kings County Brewers Collective, but definitely a solid beer. If I saw their beers more regularly, I would try other beers from them. So anyway, guys, till next beer dissection video, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.